So last class we have discussed about these variables. So how to declare it, how to initialize it, the scope of the variable. So today we'll continue this. So directly you will see the program screen where we can declare one variable and we can see how this scope and lifetime of the variable exists. We'll see in the directly in the program screen. Okay. Can you see the program screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your Hello World program. We will modify this program. As I have told you last class, the class name must be equal to the program file name. So
ଭୋଜି କେତେବେଳେ କହୁନ ମତେ?
yes, mute, please mute. Okay, I am. Okay, so here the I will just write.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, in after language you have given the star. Why it is given, sir?
That we will discuss later. Just now, in a program, okay. So, like in C program, what you are doing, you are using as include stdio.h, right?
Yes, sir.
So, why you are including? You are including that header file, stdio.header file, to use the standard input-output functions, predefined functions, which are present, which are defined, declared inside that header file, and the particular library file will be included at the time of compilation. Similarly, here in Java, so this is the first line which you have to write every time. But now Java compiler automatically assumes that if you will not write this line also, okay, this import java.lang.star, okay. So the you know the meaning of import. Import means to import something, okay. So here Java is the package name, lang is the class name, and star is the all the classes which is defined inside the lang class, okay. All the methods, all the things which is defined here, so that will be used inside the program. That's why we are writing this. So this is not necessary nowadays. This line automatically assumes. Okay, when we will discuss the class package, all the things, you will know these things again. Okay, now today we will discuss how to create the variable. In C language, there is a rule that before using anything, before writing any other statements, you must have to declare the variable. Okay, after statement, you cannot write the variables in C program standard. Nowadays, you might have seen after writing printf statement in C, you can declare int x. Okay, but in standard C, it was not accepted. Okay, because very fast declared, then use any other statements. Printf, scanf, whatever you will use, that you can use after the declaration only. But in C++ as well as in Java, that condition, that constraint removed, that limitation removed. Here you can declare the variable as and when required. So inside the function or inside the method or inside the class. Now let us see. So here I will declare one variable int, suppose var1. Okay, so this is a variable, it is integer type. Okay, now as we have seen, just see, we will print the value. We will print the value on the screen. The value of var1. Okay, var1. Just see here, I have written int var1 and I am trying to print. In C programming language, what happened? If you print the without initialization, if you try to print, what it will print? It will print garbage value. Okay. Now here you will see what happens. Okay, we will test it, what happens. So the class name is, the file name is hello.java. Now Java C hello.java. I have compiled. See what happens. When I compile, it is showing error. Variable var1 might not have been initialized. This error has come. Okay.
Sir, not yet declared.
What not declared? We have declared, na? int var1. It is not initialized. It is not initialized. That's why this error has come. Okay. So now see, let us see what are the files. Hello dot class file is there. Is there any hello.class file? Here, after compilation, Java C hello.java, it is showing error. And see here, hello.class file is not created. Without without clearing the errors, it will not create the Java code, bytecode. Okay. So let us first, we will initialize. Suppose var1 equal to 1. Okay. Now save it. Then see, I will compile it again. Successfully compiled. Okay. Now we will run. Okay. So in the program, just see in the program, by side we will put it. In this program, here the first we have written system.out.print hello world. Print is written here. So because of print, the cursor is not moved to the next line. So after that it is declared next print var1. So immediately hello, after hello world, it is printed 1. Now what we will do? Suppose we will here print ln. Print ln. Here also we will write print ln. Okay. Now just see, I've saved it. Then come to hello world, printed one online. After that, cursor move to the next line, and one after printing the cursor move to the next line. Then on the next line, command prompt came. Okay. So here int var1 equal to 1 means var1 is declared as well as it is initialized. Okay. Now understood all of you? If anybody having doubt, you can interrupt me. Okay. You just unmute and interrupt. So then you can mute. Now let us discuss the see here declaration. Now understood. Initialization is understood. Now we have initialized it. Okay. So at the time of declaration you can initialize. After declaration also you can initialize. Suppose you have declared it, then var1 equal to suppose 10. Then like this way also you can initialize. So, but this is not, this process is called assigning value. When you have written int var1 equal to 1, at the time it is initialize the value at the time of declaration. Now here 10 is assigned to var1. Okay, you can say initialization because it is not initialized before that, but you can say that it is initialized, and this here we have used assignment operator, that is assigning the value, modifying the value of var1 to 10. Okay. So next point is the scope of the variable. Scope of the variable. Just you see, we will write a program here. As I just give a colibras. Then inside that just don't write this thing. You just see this what I am doing. Okay, I have done one colibras here and one colibras here. Okay, in this here just one statement I have written within the colibras. So here we are saying this is a group of statements enclosed within colibras, enclosed within curly bracket. Okay, so here just what will be the output? Is there any error? Can anybody say? What will be the output, or is there any error? Nobody.
Sir, hello world 10.
No, you are asking me question or you are saying the answer?
Answer saying, sir.
Here,
Hello
hello
world.
world, then
Next
I
10.
think it will print 10. Okay, I
Yes,
think
sir.
it will print 10. Let us see. We will
Okay,
compile
sir.
it. Let us check. No error. Okay, output is come. Hello, one is there. Oh, okay. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I just see the program what I am doing. Okay, just try to know what I am doing.
अगर अभी पापा आएंगे देखेंगे कि तुम लिख रहे हो तो कितना खुश होंगे।
म्यूट करो, म्यूट करो। Sorry, sorry. Okay. Can anybody say what will be the output? What will be the output?
10, 30, 10, 60, 40.
Here output as per you it will print
30, 10, 60, 40.
30, then 10,
10,
then 60,
60,
then 40.
then 40.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us compile this.
Sir, maybe last one is 10.
No. Your program, your computer will not think about maybe. It, obviously, it must be, or it should not be. Okay. What error come? Cannot find symbol where to at line number. See here. How can you find that error? Here it says that at line number 13. At line number 13 cannot find the symbol where to. Okay. Just see the program at line number 13. Here where to is not finding. Okay. Where to is not finding. Just I am making it comment. I am making it comment. Okay. So inside the when it is inside the curly braces, the output it has come 30, then 10, then when it exit, the value of VAR1, the value of VAR1 is modified here and it is accessing. But outside the curly brace, if we try to access this VAR2, it is not recognizing. It is not recognizing. It means that it is
Local to that area.
yes. This VAR2 variable identifier is confined. The life and the scope of this VAR2 is confined to this area only. When it exits, there is no existence of VAR2. Okay, there is no existence of VAR2. So that's why it has shown the error that cannot find the symbol VAR2. VAR2 is not recognized there. Okay, now suppose I write here int VAR1, VAR2. Two variables, suppose I create it. Okay, so two variables I declared here. VAR1 is 10, int VAR2 is 30. Now here VAR2, as you know, this here it will print what? 30. Then here it will print 10. Then VAR1 modified to 40, VAR2 modified to 60. Now here, if I print VAR2, what will be the output?
30, 10, 60, 40.
See, will just compile. What error it is?
Ah, shit.
2 is already defined.
Variable var2 is already defined in
Huh.
main. Okay, so at line number 8, it has shown that here it is saying that already it is declared. So we cannot redeclare it. Okay, we cannot redeclare it. Got it? What a message variable var2 might not have been initialized. Okay. Okay. First VR2 printed 0, then VR1 printed 10, then modified the value inside the curly braces 60, 40, and it has affected here. Okay. So now here suppose I write again int VR1. Will it allow?
No,
No. Why?
already declared.
Already declared, sir.
So it is showing that variable VR1 is already defined in if, that means if you redeclare a variable inside the inner scope, inner block, this is a block of statements. Okay, we can say these are block of statements. If we redeclared the identifier inside the subblock, then it is not allowed in Java. Okay, but remember in C program, if you want to try, you can try it. In C program it is allowed, and test it in C program how it behaves. Okay, so that is your task. You test it. So it may be interview question. Okay, in C program, if it is written like this, then it will allow, but output is something different. You can test it. Okay, so I will not say here details. Now this colibras is called scope. This colibras is called scope. means one variable, if it is declared inside the scope, that is not exist, the value is not exist outside the scope. Okay, that means here if you declare one variable, that variable's life is exist till the end of this thing. Okay, so that thing I want to explain here. Scope means how the variable is visible to other part of the program. Here in this program we have seen the var2 which was declared inside the scope, inside the sub block, that is not visible by the outside. Okay, so but if you write something in outside, then in the sub block you can access directly. Okay, there is no problem. Okay, now like that. Localization, this is called also localization of the identifier. So lifetime means how much, means what is the life of the variable, means suppose you have defined one identifier in the, now here the life of this var1, the life of var1 var2 is till the end of the main function, till the end of the main function. But here if you write int var3 equal to suppose 0, then the life of the var3 is till the line number 12. When it exits from the line number 12, then the life of var is cleared. There is no life of the var3. But var1, var2 life is till end of the program, end of the main function. Okay. So this is called life of the lifetime of the variable. How the variable is created and used and destroyed. So that life is destroying when it exits from its scope. Okay. Now, next we will see type conversion, type casting, and type promotion. That thing later we will discuss. So in C program also you've done. Type conversion means how Java handles automatic type conversion. Okay. So type conversion, just see, we will see here. Okay, all of you understood this method, this scope of the variable and lifetime of variable. Anyone? Just if anybody is not understood, then we can discuss again. Yes, Swayam Prabha, tell me.
Can you explain that scope again?
See, suppose I'll say you in the example. Suppose you are the class representative of your section. Okay, suppose you are class representative of your section. So if you give some instructions or tell some inform to your group, then your group students, your friends may accept your instruction. But outside, nobody will recognize you. Okay, outside your class, nobody will recognize you that you are CR or something. Okay, similarly, here scope means the area, the location where it is recognized, means see here, this in this example, var1, var2, these are recognized from line number 5 till line number 16. Okay, VR1 and VR2 is recognized till this line. Okay, here it you can access, here also you can access. So that is called scope of VR1 and VR2. Here the scope of this VR1 VR2 is till in this area, but the scope of VR3 is only confined to this area. So you can say under which colibras, under this group, okay, in this area, this VR1, VR2 is available, but VR3 is available in this area. Area you can scope, you can say also the area of existence, the area of usage, that is called scope. Okay, where you can access it, that is called scope. Okay, but lifetime is something different. Lifetime means when you create a variable, it reserves some space in the memory. Okay, but when you exit, when you exit from the function or from the scope, then that variable life may or may not exist. So that is called lifetime. But here the lifetime of VR1 and VR2 is still here, but lifetime of VR3 is still here. When you exit from this location, this area, then VR3's life is ended. So you cannot use it. Okay. When we will use the looping statements for while, so inside the for or inside the while statement, if you create one variable, then that variable, when you exit from that loop, the variable will be cleared. Okay, we will see again this thing later. Understood scope?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will see the type conversion. Type conversion. Okay, all of you can write this program.
Yes, sir.
Note down this program. System.out.println IVR1. Okay. Suppose I want to print a message IVR1 equal to, okay, I want to print a message as well as the value of this variable. What I will do, I will use plus sign. Just see here, if I write like this, system.out.println FVR1 equal to plus FVR1. Okay. Just I have taken two variables and printed it. Okay. They see here to concatenate multiple outputs in single println or print function. Just you write, suppose I have written a string VIVR1. This message will come on the screen and it will be concatenated. Plus sign here, not used for addition. This is used for concatenation. In the println, it will concatenate the outputs. Okay. So just see here, I compile it. Where it is saved. Okay. Type convert.java, Java C, type convert.java. What happened? Incompatible type, possibly logic conversion from double to float. Okay. Just see here, automatically it is thinking that here it is a constant. 30.77 is a constant. Okay, 30.77 is a constant. So this constant is treated, the compiler is treating this is a double type data. And here it is trying to convert to float type data. So you know in C data conversion is there. So same method you have to apply it here. So it has shown the error, incompatible type, possibly logic conversion from double to float. Okay, so we have to convert it. How can we write?
30.77F.
30.77F. Sure. Just see. Okay. So now it is treated as float type data. Understood how to assign the thing? Now Java, then type convert. Okay. I where 1 equal to 50, F where 1 equal to 30.77. So here this value is treated as float type data, and this is integer value. Now here we will try to convert. Okay, suppose IVR1 equal to FVR1. Okay, what is the size of required for IVR1? Integer takes how much byte in Java? Don't remember. Okay. Okay. Anyway, integer takes how much byte? Already we have discussed
4 bytes.
4 bytes.
Yes,
And
sir.
FVR1 is occupying
4 bytes.
4 bytes. Okay, let us see. Compile it. Possibly logic conversion from float to int. So when we are converting FVR to IVR, explicitly it is not converting. Okay, so we have to convert it. How can we convert it? We will
Typecast.
Is it like this? You see how you are writing. Got it? So the method of conversion, type conversion, is the data type within parentheses, then the data, so that this data will be converted to integer. FVAR data, this is float data, is converted to integer and assigned to IVAR1. Okay. So 30 is there, then 30.77 is there. So this is called type conversion. So, but see, we will see in the other way, int var or var fvr1 equal to ivr1. Okay, FVR1 equal to IVR1. Let us see. Any error? No error. Okay. So that means from upper to lower conversion explicitly we have to mention, but from lower to upper it will automatically convert. Okay, that auto conversion or manual explicit conversion. So that thing is written here, type conversion, how Java handles automatic type conversion. That is called type conversion. Type promotion, how the type of variable can be expanded, okay, to promote. Typecasting, how the type of variable can be narrowed down. So here in the line number here, we have used typecast to convert from upper to lower explicitly. Here automatically it is converted, that is type conversion. Okay, so this is called typecasting. So we have mentioned that cast of the data, so that accordingly it will change the cast. Okay. Next come to, and all of you understood this thing?
Yes, sir.
So in shortcut, you can write here. I am writing the command line. Type casting. Automatic type conversion. So this is the method to type change the thing, and this is the method to. So you can note down these 4 lines so that you can easily understand this thing.